FGM is a very awkward, barbaric, and evil act. And it has been made possible by parents and leaders. It's unfortunate that mothers and fathers who should care for their children have endangered them through FGM.
Kama kwa jamii yetu kwa jumla, hii jamii yetu ya Wameru, especially mahali pale nimezaliwa location inaitwa Mungene, division ya Kangeta, Igembe Central. Hakika tangu totoni hii mambo ya ukeketaji yamekita mizizi sana, na wasichana wengi since time in memory, ni kitu nimekuta kama babu zangu walikuwa wanafanya, the great grandfathers they were doing it, my father was doing it.
It was a real challenge for me growing up. The influence of my cousins, my grandparents, especially my grandfather and my grandmother, they could not imagine having someone who is uncircumcised. I'm amongst my maternal side or my mother's side, I'm the eldest cousin or the eldest girl who has not undergone FGM.
The Council of Elders in Meru County made a declaration against FGM in the year 1956. They also affirmed the same declaration in the year 2009. But FGM is a social norm. It's an harmful cultural practice. It's something that is deeply entrenched in the community, and that means constant communication, constant dialoguing, constant information to be able to change the social norm and make sure that people transform and understand why they need to move away from this harmful cultural practice.
Earlier on, one of my cousins died. She underwent FGM. She dropped out of school. After dropping out of school, of course, she became pregnant. She was very young, around 14 years. When she went to give birth, she had complication. And now my cousin died because of postpartum bleeding.
I have seen pathetic situations with mothers when they are delivering. I attended one in Nairobi, the year 2010. We were forced to cut the mother, the two sides of the perineum, to allow delivery of the baby because of the effects of FGM.
Right now, we're in the process of training male champions across Kenya, and we aim to create a critical mass of men and boys who understand why female genital mutilation needs to end and why they need to get involved in this. We are mobilizing community-based organizations across Kenya. We work with partner community-based organizations in different counties who are like our key persons in those communities. They are the ones who understand their communities. So when we want to go and train the male champions, we go through those community-based organizations. They mobilize the champions for us, and they are able to identify the best champions for us to train. And afterwards we train them and we mentor them, and we ensure that we keep in touch with them and create WhatsApp groups, create networks to be sharing what every champion is doing. We also teach them on how to use media in their advocacy, social media, how they can be able to go to the radio stations, how they can be able to understand about the law, and how they can be able to build their confidence and understand why we need to end FGM.
FGM is a social norm. So everyone does it or did it in the past, and majority of the people believes that it's right and should be done, no questioning. So most of the people, even you look at what they're doing, would do it because the majority others are doing it. So the media has the potential of reaching many people, and so if you convince them through the radio individually to stop FGM, then there's a higher chance that you'll start changing minds and the practice will go down. Otherwise, if you engage a few people, then there's so much societal pressure to keep on doing it.
Kwa hivyo sisi kama anti-FGM board tumekuja hapa ili kuweza kujiunga pamoja na Men End FGM Foundation ambao wako na lengo la kuweza kufunza wanaume 20 kutoka kwa kila county na waweze kufanya hivyo katika kaunti zote 22 ambapo uhalifu huu wa ukeketaji wa wasichana na watoto uko juu sana. Na hili jambo la ukeketaji ni jambo ambalo hata rais wetu amesema lazima likome kufikia mwaka wa 2022. Na ni jambo ambalo lazima sisi wote tuje pamoja. Lazima kila mtu auzishwe, na hasa sana wanaume wauzishwe, kwa sababu unajua kumekuwa na ile dhana kwamba jambo la ukeketaji ni jambo la wamama.
We saw it wise to train 440 male champions in all 22 hotspot counties so that they can go back to the community to help in supporting initiatives that work towards ending FGM. We also intend to increase the number of champions in different counties. As you know, right now we have COVID-19 guidelines, so we cannot be able to have more than 20 at some point because of the social distancing and everything. But we really hope that with the increased funding, so that we can be able to get a bigger hall, we can be able to get more activists coming to join us, then we intend to increase the numbers. We don't have to do 20 in every county because some of the counties are very vast, and we need more and more male champions to join in. The first training is here in Meru. I have met very good participants in the training, very eloquent and committed people willing to go back to their communities to end FGM. We have targeted elders who sit down with fellow elders. We have targeted teachers who have the platform in their schools. We had pastors who have the platforms every Sunday in their churches. So even without the resources, they are able to amplify out there. But at some point, they might require more resources to be able to mobilize more people for their campaign.
Some of these men, they are our whistleblowers. I know of men who have gone ahead and they have like prevented cases of FGM.
Kesi yangu ya kwanza ya kuando ya FGM niliando within our village. Kuna mama alitairi mchichana hapo, nikapata information nikiwa kanisani, nikaenda kwa ndizi nikaripoti, chief akapigiwa simu, akachukua askari akakamata huyo mama. Ndio kesi yangu ya kwanza, na tulisukumana na huyo mama akafungwa miezi 6.
After watching the clip on actual cutting of the girls, most of the men had different reactions. You can see their emotions, you can see their faces and their reaction. Most of them confessed that it was their first time to see the actual cutting happen. Yes, they have been campaigning against FGM, but they have been reading it in books. Discussion opened up and the men were giving their confessions and saying, the reason as to why I walked out is because I remembered my daughter who I left at home. I couldn't imagine this happening to my daughter. Yes, men are not involved maybe in the actual cutting of cows, but they are decision makers at homes. They are the fathers of these girls, and they are powerful because in African setting, family setup is patriarchal where the father calls the shots.
Mimi nikiwa kwangu nyumbani, I am the end of the family. Na bibi yangu na watoto wangu wako sini yangu. Niko na influence ya kusema ya kwamba watoto wangu wasitahiriwe.
Men are fathers. Men are opinion leaders. Men, they are the voice of the society. Women alone cannot fight FGM. More men should be brought on board as the national government and county government tries to fight this particular evil in the community. Our war against FGM will be easier than if it is only left for women.
We have experienced mothers who come to our health facilities having so many problems and psychological problems. So to me, if we end FGM, we will have reduced death by far. And we will have improved the social life of women.
We want men to understand that FGM is a human rights violation. We want men to understand that it's an illegal practice. We want them to understand that it causes a lot of trauma to women and girls. We want them to understand that it has economical aspects to it.
To thank End FGM organization na anti-FGM Mbundi. Hiyo miaka yote nimekuwa nikipigania haki za mtoto mchichana sana na mambo ya FGM. I have never been connected to anti-FGM Mbondi. But kwa wakati huu na wandusia shukrani sana, tumeweza kupatana na wao. Saizi wameweza hata kutuempower, wametutrain, wametupatia hizi t-shirt unaona ninabalia, wametupatia certificate na wametufundisha jinsi ya ku-advocate.
All men should be involved in ending FGM.
Wanaume wenzangu, amukeni to save our girls from FGM.